They'll be calling you a radical. By the way, this doesn't happen very often. Rain in Utah? We don't get rain in Utah. I mean, never. We get snow this time of year, and this is the desert. This is the high desert. But I want to talk about the fact as an environmentalist. I want to talk the fact as an artist, as the economics professor, as the history professor. I am no YouTube vlogger. I am surely no truther. I am surely no freaking, I don't know, paper trader. No, I'm out in the street. That's where we'll meet. That's what I am. And by the way, I'm not a talker. I'm a walker. But first and foremost, I'm a AML leukemia fighter. I have leukemia in my body. I'm a cancer survivor. And I'm a fighter for the environment. Look, so many of you people get all wound up and knee-jerked about all these issues that mean jack to you. Really, even though I turned $3,000 into $700,000 not on a paper trade, really did it right here on YouTube. Who gives a fuck? You know, paid for my stay in the bone marrow transplant. So who cares about all these issues? You know, gay marriage, who really cares one side of that? Is that really going to affect you in your lifetime? Are any of these knee-jerk issues going to affect you in your lifetime? Maybe subtly, but in the core, what affects every fucking one of you? What is going to affect the environment? It blows my mind how here in Utah, to call yourself an environmentalist is to be spit on, kicked, I mean, the very essence of life. And I'm going to put up this right here. I love her for standing her ground as a midwife. Good for you, girl. You know, and that scumbag piece of shit LA Times, at least they printed it. I want to say this to her. That's Olsen with an E-N. There's so many, my last name would be an E-N. We're Danish. There's so many of us here, especially in southern Utah. Hello. Hello. 350 open-air tests in Nevada. The cancer capital of the world? Not then, just like Mike Lee with that interview I put up. Oh, I just found out my father was a downwinder. Well, you don't think you're a downwinder? How can you look at it in retrospect? It is bio-including the half-life of plutonium is 24,500 years. You're just as susceptible of getting leukemia now than you were in 1950. More. You are more because it's bio-including. Now she goes into the cemetery and she's finding all these dead babies. Still lives. Fukushima, and I'll tell you why. We know the mapping showed that we got hammered as hard right here as anyone, including me. I had a predisposition, just like everybody in southern Utah has a predisposition. It's the cancer. So yesterday I go out and do my routine. The bald eagles migrate here. As you know, I put up those videos. I've been going up along the Weber and out behind my lake, around the Grand Salt Lake, and look at the bald eagles there. They migrate from Alaska for hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions. They all died last year. I counted 2 eagles yesterday, and I was all up and down, where I usually count dozens, many dozens. It's the smallest. I'm really disheartened as they say, oh, the grebes died. Now, I want you people to understand in Utah a thing called Operation Jackrabbit. They released radioactive gases through Dugway, again, over, and they're going to do it again this year in the KSL. Doug Wright, the terrorist that he is, and the terrorists that KSL are, say nobody protests. I protest. I have formally protested over and over and over and over again. It is obscene to me. There's an article out now that says, they're saying this. They're saying, oh, look, Fukushima's not bad. It's good. It's good because now we're going to be able to track. It's good for the climate. Because we're going to be able to track the environment through Fukushima now. It's good. Are you fucking people insane? Anybody that's regurgitating this? Okay, I'm in the bone marrow transplant center at LDS. Acute 8. By the way, right on YouTube. I'm not a paper trader. I'm an ID jerk, and I want to talk a little bit about this too as an artist. Suicide is the most selfish, grotesque act any human being can commit. It's beyond sickening. Suicide, I have no respect for any of them, none. I've walked in on a suicide victim before in my life. Talk about traumatized, especially one that has children. Now, Brittany Maynard, that's different. terminally ill. That's euthanasia. I think it's very important we call out the difference between euthanasia and suicide. It's very, very different. I have no respect for anybody who commits suicide. None. Zero. It's the most selfish, grotesque act, especially if you have children. Not to mention the ETM, the firefighters or whatever who have to find you. It's horrible. It's traumatizing. It's evil. You guys can get all caught up in your knee-jerk fucking bullshit wedge issues, these political parties and this fucking mainstream. And I don't have a problem with television stars. I have a problem with they put their stuff on YouTube. Stay at television, you guys. I mean, you know, this genre's been abused. I'm not some guy sitting in a basement re-fucking gurgitating screenshots, paper trading some bullshit that no one gives a fuck. And by the way, YouTube could care less about your subscribers. YouTube could care less about your fucking view counts. It's about retention. My retention on my videos is extremely, extremely high. Because I talk about things that matter to people. What matters? The environment. I love it. Oh, you environmentalists, we want to support the British Petroleum who rapes the earth, makes some more money. We love them because Fox News told you to. Red pill, blue pill. It's outrageous. No. The one thing that would affect all of you and affects every one of you every day is Fukushima. Is the environment. I'm not a fucking... I'm a walker. At the Megan Rice trial, the only press. At the USS Reagan trial, the only press in 2013. The only person in 2013 besides the attorney. You know, again in 2014. In Times Square holding up my PU, on CNN, in Flood Wall Street, going at CNN in their face. I could list dozens, if not hundreds of these videos every place I've... And by the way, let me tell you something. It takes money to do this. Whether you're the Sierra Club, you're Greenpeace, you're Helen Caldecott, you're Beyond Nuclear. They all rely on public funding. They all rely on donations. That's what we all rely on, all of them. There are fucking tens of thousands of nonprofits, tens of thousands. Again, Beyond Nuclear, Helen Caldecott, freaking Greenpeace, the Sierra Club. People donate hundreds of millions of dollars a day to those organizations. It takes money to be an environmentalist. You know, YouTube, I'm not a YouTube vlogger, I'm not a blogger. I'm an activist. I'm an anti-nuclear activist. A professor? Oh, hell yeah. History professor? Oh, hell yes. Economist? Hell yes. I taught right here at the #1 school business in the freaking world. Finance here. But something happened on the way to that place. I got an American nuclear flag thrown in my face. I got leukemia. I'm in that hospital. I'm here to tell you the disproportion between people in southern Utah in there and northern Utah is night and day. Southern Utah is very sparsely populated, very few, but everybody dies of leukemia. I wonder why. But the same people, you know, Abby knew it. I stood right here, right on this very sacred ground, right here with Edward Abbey many times. I knew him very personally. I knew Stegner very personally. No, we walk it. Thank you, girl down there. That's great. I love that. You stand strong. It's good for you, man. But know this, the #1 canary, yeah, birth defects. You ain't a kidding. Radiation in the mama. Mutations. You know, as we fight for our lives, I'm fighting for my life, I'm fighting for your life, I'm fighting for, you know, I'm fighting for my children, I'm fighting for my grandchildren. And activism takes fucking money, and that's what we do. You know, you don't have to agree with me, you don't have to be, then move on. And you know, this YouTube genre, which is so powerful, has been so incredibly abused. I don't abuse, I use it the way it's supposed to be used. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. Because artists, the real artists who stand their ground, who make freaking things happen, you know, I don't care what, the real ones, they change culture. It always has to start with the artist, always. And by the way, any great artist is one great economist, Kandinsky, Picasso, Andy, they get it. They're socioeconomists, they're economists, they're historians. That's what great art is. It's the capitulation of everything. It throws a tent all, everything that came before it. Everything. Post-ignorance. Pop-ism is dead. Stay tuned.